Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our CCL Kickoff Classic as we get ready to jump in towards our next match. It's going to be a very hype one, to say the least. We're now going in towards our semifinal matchups here. We've got SIUe Red going up against FSU Garnet, and well, this should be a fun one here. Proper just had a Game 5 series coming through there for us. Almost went down to that round 11, but finished things off in round 10. Now we're jumping in towards our second set to see who exactly is going to have a spot in that grand final.
Top four teams now in this kickoff tournament, in between Concord Maroon, Illini Orange. That's happening over on the Bravo channel. And again, sure you have both those streams hooked up. And if you don't have two monitors, make sure you do that panel and panel, and make sure you're doing your homework. Just smack dab in the center right there. You know, triple tasking here on this fantastic evening. But still, nevertheless, yeah, hoping for another barn burner. I mean, you got to understand something. I mean, if you're making it this far inside the kickoff tournament, you can take it for what it's worth. Maybe some of these teams don't have as much practice as the next. Maybe they haven't been playing since the game has actually released, but they've made themselves here. And this is a great showcasing for what we are going to see ahead of the regular season, which is not too far away. And you might as well get comfy here, folks, because the first three maps are a raid.
And I'm okay with that, Andy. I hope the players are too. But I'm always okay with triple dose of raid. And as we jump right in towards things, Exile gets himself on top of the point here to try and start soaking up some of that time. Won't really get a whole lot of assistance in and around the hill. And D-Day able to at least clean up a couple of players to allow his subs to now push up a little bit more aggressively. So they will be able to move right back in, and they have themselves a decent amount of control.
Yeah, they sure do. And again, when it comes down to raid hardpoint, if you're starting off on that kitchen side of the map and you're new to the game, you didn't play much Black Ops 2. Again, that came out in 2012. Maybe you were only 4 years old before you even got to pick up the sticks. You want to hold on towards those kitchen spawns while keeping P1 contested. But so far, looking so darn good for FSU to be able to get control towards the P1 spiral hill, but not a lot of movement towards the middle of the map to try to break inside of that hill itself where it's about to be flipping towards. But Exile, they do find two. It's going to be an opportunity now for Rosin to be able to push themselves over towards the jungle here with Moth, and that's a big kill over towards D-Day.
It's a great first one, but that's going to be the pinching from behind. And that's Mythic finds himself a kill, maybe even a second, as everything's going to just start to hold for a quick moment of fighting towards the back. And Frogmoth finds the first one, finds the second one, right in towards the point. Make that three in a row. Opening up the kitchen hill, ready to cook, feeling hot, and that will be control here, as well as spawns in the back.
I'm not saying what's for dinner. How about a 4 spree? 6 and 3 star for them, 6 and 2 there for Exile. And this is going to be a great spot now. 20 seconds remaining. Hit comes through the front. Buzz finds the first. Rosin trying to keep their life. Tries to go for a little bit of a stun play, but hey, it's just so much pressure. Nice little angle poking out. And will Rosin able to find a second? 14 seconds remaining. Tries to hit this, but Moth comes back in for some great help. Although SIUe, they really wanted to be able to get that break. They're going to have to be able to settle for that contested time and try to make P3 their money hill.
And now this rotation here, making their way through Zig. Rosin on a couple of kills. Does have his teammates in from behind. D-Day is going to be responsible for watching that. Big first kill. Ends up bringing it home here. And now a hit coming maybe from Wade as everything just kind of pauses. But Plasmid actually finds himself a couple of kills, just lining them up, knocking them down, making it pretty easy and making it very difficult to set up another coordinated hit as two more players end up falling. XL wants to also get himself back in control of the small room here inside of Wade, but just not being allowed to do so. Buzz's nade is going to be great. The first 30 seconds coming over here as they finally be able to push to the middle of the map, but Plasmid and D-Day both win their one-on-ones, and now it's going to be about looking towards the rotation towards our next hill.
And this is just some of the versatility with the AK-47 being G8, with the XM4 coming in the play now. 9 and 6 here for D-Day, showcasing the XM4 strength mid-range. Got those long-range shots, doesn't kill as fast as the Krig 6, but again, that versatility is what you're mostly looking for as far as a second, if not your main AR, to be running this weapon. So moving over towards the basketball court here for P4. FSU Garnet are there for the initial time of their setup. Might be a little bit lackluster given that there's no player directly looking inside a kitchen. SIUe, they're going to have this opportunity with players pushing up from the front side of things. You got to just be careful if this hit comes through the jungle side. And FSU Garnet, they read this wonderfully. Mystic does find one, but Rosin is here to get some great team shots along with Moth to shut down the push.
Oh, the subs have just been so good so far. FSU Garnet looking to grab the last 30 here as the hit's going to start to come through the top. Rosin waits the challenge and will just absolutely guns D-Day with the AR. In from behind, though, will be Mythic. A chance to break open the hill. Rosin says no, turns and burns for another one. 5 in a row coming through. This is Rosin's hill, and he is letting SIUe Red know about that.
Yeah, Rosin's got the Air Force Ones down here on the basketball court, man. They are absolutely flying, turning, and burning. 11-6, 11-8 there for Exile. Again, two players that we highlighted even at the beginning of the map from P1 inside of P2 is why you see FSU Garnet having themselves this nice little 20-point buffer. But SIUe Red, they're here on P5. 3 big kills come through. Mythic does find 2 of those now at 8-6. Buzz is just trying to soak up the time, but have 2 players over by the water steps, and well, this could be a little bit of a good setup if you're looking at this from SIUe Red's perspective, and now you have FSU Garnet trying to hit this from the pillars, and well, they do end up finding a couple of kills, so now they might just try to commit towards his hip, but Mythic and Buzz inside the hill are locking things down, and Buzz with the XM4 turns around to find Rosin inside the kitchen.
Buzz is out in the middle of the open here. While he will be taken down, you can see he was definitely feeling himself there for the time being, but his teammates are also able to respond with even more kills. Everyone pretty much attacking from kitchen, and that will be Moth who manages to find the trade and push through. Plasmid now trying to pick up the players on the rotation, finds that first one here at the back of Laundry. Will be alone for the most part inside this power position, so will just very wisely back up, gets his health back, goes for the second challenge. Exile will be able to clear this out, and now a chance to be able to press on through in towards ring. Buzz has just been taking a ton of damage, and Exile on his spree will be able to keep things going on 2, looking for 3 in the back. Will run out of ammo there for a quick second, and is not low, or rather is low, and won't go for the challenge here all around, but he will be able to have his teammates in from behind. Plasmid also finding himself a couple of kills to allow his subs to press in towards ring.
Qualls had a very rough go of things with the first set of hills. There's their second kill, 2-15. Second AR here for FSU Garnet, just really trying to lock down these lanes, but just having a rough go at things. And this is where SIUe Red can really find themselves in an open opportunity. But, I mean, the name here for FSU Garnet has all been placed inside Rosin and Exile. I mean, you also got Moth just right behind them as well at 13-15 with 1:19 inside the hill, being able to put in the work. But this is why SIUe Red, which has been able to find so much value, but control the P2 hill is here for FSU Garnet. They got the close spawns, but some good kills do come through on the back end, holding down the lanes though. 2 for 2 trade. Mythic really wants to find this kill inside of Money and is able to lock things down. There's a very early break for the spawns and the initial time for P2.
Extremely close game, and the contest is in. The battle is there, but that's all yellow in the feed. One more player in towards the back. That's going to be D-Day, as they will actually spawn out by ring. Rosin just not going to go for the overpeak, just wants to hold his position. He's reading things correctly as this hit comes through, but everyone's being dropped as they make their way towards the hill. This has been a great bounce back. D-Day finally goes for that challenge, and Rosin just brings it home without any worry. Exile also follows up and helps out his sub inside the hill. So the break that comes through here for FSSU Garnet is going to be good enough to at least have a bit of a cushion here, but this is where things went wrong last time proper. They held kitchen, but on this rotation towards garage, they were unable to really break through and actually get some of this time.
And you also just look at the setup there for Southern Illinois. I mean, you got a player inside a bedroom just in case they try to push through to the pool side, but knowing that the players here for Florida State University are coming through the red side inside of the art gallery, Mythic is able to lock down 2 kills. There's the third party of the trophy system from Mythic. Going to be able to take down Rosin, but initial attempt to break inside of P3, unsuccessful. Moth not being able to work their way inside the garage, but a 2 for 2 trade might just be a little bit more beneficial, and given off of where the players are standing for FSU Garnet, not too far enough forward inside of P3 to break inside these spawns quite yet.
Mythic, not sure where the contest is, and well, it was right by the weight doorway as they finally end up dropping, and this will be for the back half of about 30 seconds or so. So both teams gonna about trade on towards the hard point. Grogmoth already gonna start to make this rotation in the back of Laundry, but you can see on the mini-map, he doesn't exactly have anyone with him. Everyone's trying to cut through the middle of the map. Long-range gunfight for Moth, and you can see him just wisely backing down with that submachine gun. Trophy system out, just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Plasmid does go for the challenge, and they clean him up. So they deal with at least one of the players, and there will be a second, and well, that second one will come through as well. No one hitting from the front, and this is great control right now for the side of SIUe Red, as they have just about everything watched, and this hit, it's just being shut down time and time again for the back, but they're going to keep on trying.
3 players committing towards the backside of tiles, over towards the jungle side. Player number 6 on the minimap will be Plasmid to try to read this. Locks down 2, line them up. Plasmid knocks him down with the XM4. Knows that there's one more player. Why not just feed the man dinner? It's going to be a very easy kill for them. A 6 spree for Plasmid, 24-15. Past the 200-point thresh mark for both of these teams. 215 and counting on up here for Southern Illinois University. And Well, now we're in a great spot to not close it out here, but to put themselves in a position to be able to break inside of P5 to where they could potentially see the end of the game.
This really has been just an incredible hold. And as you frame it up, Andy, this very well could be our last hill unless FSU Garnet can start to really pull the rabbit out of the hat and maybe see if they can turn the tides. That's the first gunfight inside of Kitchen will be good. Playing for an exit will be Moth as he's trying to find and lock down everyone coming off of that last hill. Meanwhile, his teammates are inside the point. He will finally fall down, and now it's about a 2v4 for a very brief moment. Rosin just not looking the right way, will end up dropping down. SIUe red, they're inside the hill. They just need a few more seconds. The contest is there, but it's not going to be enough. And well, there you have it. What a bounce back coming through, and they will be able to steal away map number 1, 250 to 216.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, like, I don't want to really just beat the bush again. These are collegiate players, right? So they're students first and then competitive players secondly. But, I mean, this was essentially just a 3v4, like, towards the entirety of the first, if not the second set of hills there for FSU Garnet. But they did a great job. They did a great job in just being able to dictate and just being able to command the rotations. Again, when you're looking at other players that were playing for FSU inside that raid hardpoint, being able to find a lot of those kills, 2, 3, 4 at the time, was fantastic. But when Equal is inside the hill, and you can say what it was, I mean, a minute and 30 at the hill there at the end, but unable to trade their life about 10 times over. When you're looking at the side for Southern Illinois University, I mean, you have 3 players that are over a minute and 20 inside the hill that were trading their life one, twice, sometimes thrice inside the hill. And that's exactly what you want when you are playing inside the hill. Submachine gun, AR, I don't really care what you're using at the end of the day. Maybe you're just mainlining the Diamati, but when you're able to just do that, that's where you're going to be able to find success. In SIUe, they're able to find that advantage, and they push it all the way further, coming from P4 inside of P5 there.
They sure do. Still extremely close the game. And if we can get more of that, at least all 4 players coming through here going in towards Search and Destroy, things could look a lot different here for us. But as Andy said, going in towards this series, we got a lot of raid coming through here for us. The very first 3 maps, triple dose. So we'll have a raid Search and Destroy. As you can see at the top of your screen, a raid control. And then if need be, we'll go in towards a Moscow hardpoint in the checkmate Search and Destroy here for us. So if one of these squads really like raid, then I'm sure that they're going to absolutely be thrilled going in towards these next 2 maps, and well, specifically SIUe red, considering they also have the very first map 1 lead coming out of the hard point. But now we go towards Search. We haven't seen a lot of these players for as far as this year in this game, I would say, for the most part here. So for as far as Search and Destroy, it's really kind of open for as far as what we're going to get, what creativity might come through, or maybe just generic basics kind of strategies that might come in here for us going towards this map number 2. But maybe we get something that we just haven't seen. And I think raid for the most part was played a lot differently from when we had it in towards Black Ops 2, where we just pretty much saw all the hits go towards ring. It was all about B control. The odd time is about playing towards the middle of the map, right? And nothing really happened by A. It was like the odd hit where it's like, okay, we've been shut down like 4 times by B. We just got to try something different. So we'll try A just for the hell of it. But that's really actually changed, I find, in towards this game, with the map being just a little bit different, you know, slightly different kind of angles for as far as when you're looking at it towards some of these longer lines of sight. And you are now able to kind of get yourself pushed up in towards A little bit easier. You can take this top challenge either by open stairs or over by cutout a little bit easier as well from the pool house. So it allows your ARs to be able to open up these first bloods and then allow your subs to push up and get some control on this bomb site. So this is, I think, something that we've seen really adapt. And we saw that in the last series coming through for our map 2 as well on raid, where there was a lot of pushes just kind of taking place over by this site and trying to push up, get control of Tiki, maybe even play for some of that middle map control so you can basically cut off all the lane from rotating in.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, how many times through Black Ops 2, when raid was just the last time played it in a competitive map set, we see a lot of sniper presence, middle of the map, over from laundry, down lane, hell, even when you are looking for that Tiki hit from the bedroom side or from the backside of the basketball court. Don't have that because the sniper, it's G8, it's gone. Smokes, it's out. Don't worry about it. But the ARs are going to have to be there to be able to hold down those longer lines of sight, so that way the submachine guns can then work their way, whether it's inside a spiral, whether it's through the rocks and through the center of the map, maybe potentially inside a kitchen, money, to be able to offensively work yourself inside of one of these sites, so that way you could potentially see a very quick plant. That's exactly what we saw happening from that Concord Maroon in CSLB match that we just had in our quarterfinals, and it could be a success that we potentially see here for Southern Illinois or Florida State.
And it really does kind of throw a wrench into the game plan on offense, when you no longer have a smoke to like throw it by dividers, for example, it's like you're almost kind of opted into now attacking back laundry and
Yeah.
getting control of that as a whole. And there is now at least more ways to actually get into laundry. Before, you could pretty much only get in from the front or either attacking from the back. So there is at least that little window you can climb up through as well, allowing at least more entries in. But you're not usually getting that bomb down unless you're getting control of laundry, because then you're exposed to planting that bomb through the middle of the map where someone can come up open stairs or just look to pinch right through the middle. So a lot of things changing from when we used to see this map played, for as far as overall strats and how you're looking to approach these offensive rounds. More or less, you have to try and look for some of these kills. You tend to have to get a little bit over aggressive here, allow your subs to be able to open things up. And to be fair, at least on both of these teams, we have seen a bit of that, I would say, here, where these subs have been able to make some of those aggressive plays, find those entries, and be able to work for those advantages. And that's something that obviously Raid is just going to come down to for the most part. But that is enough of us framing up what we might see, Andy. Now it's time to see what we will actually get going in towards this map number 2. This would be a really important bounce back here for Florida State Garnet, but we'll see if it does end up coming through, as Buzz just has a very well-placed Semtex, and he will find himself a first blood.
Rosin's there for the trade, though. 3v3. Bomb still being carried here by Mythic. You got Buzz just underneath bedroom, just trying to make sure that there's no player here. Florida State University pushing up here. It's after Moth went down, of course, so 3v1 now as Plasmid is able to take down Exile. Rosin is going to get souted out by Buzz up through the water steps, and that was just a well-executed round off of that Semtex to open things up. And again, when you're thinking about no smokes, no snipers, Austin, this is where, again, your Semtex, your stuns, your flashes, whatever you're using as far as Lethal's tacticals are concerned, that's where you're really going to have to find those well placements. And, well, Buzz is able to open things up wonderfully, reading that FSU Garnet was hitting up through the middle of the map.
Great job coming through, carrying some of what happened last map in towards the very first round, and now gearing up for what I had already talked about, hitting A. It's very, very optimal now, and already going to be able to get a lot of those subs pushed up. This might just be an immediate plant. Buzz just does come sliding through, but not sure how much information he finds. You see all those red dots do make their way now for the rotation. So Buzz gets the info, gets himself out, and now it's going to be 4v4 on this retake.
This is a 3v4 now. That's how I would take down Plasmid. You got player number 1 and D-Day working their way from the basketball court. Mythic, along with Buzz, playing from the water stairs. Exile has a power position inside of the bedroom, is able to smoke Buzz down low. That's just D-Day left alone inside the Tiki Bar. No tab, no drinks, no service at all. FSU Garnet able to quickly bounce back here, making this one apiece.
Oh, we got ourselves a little Jordan General
special, man.
You know it. You know it, Andy. The scope is no joke. It's actually really, really accurate. And it feels good, and more people are bringing it out now, which is just so nice to see the change up from really a lot of different Call of Duties where it's pretty much just been the main site. So it's just nice, I guess, overall to get a little Jordan General in our games now, Andy. That's for sure. This time around, though, Plasmid, he's also going for some of these pre-nades. You can see definitely some time spent for as far as where they're looking to set up some of these pre-stuns and nades. Won't find any value this time around, but you can at least play for that information. Now, Mythic is creeping up on towards this bomb site. Should be able to get this down safely, and it looks like this will be the bomb planted. Will not be spotted. Can Mythic get out with his life? He actually goes for the challenge and will not be punished for it.
Won't be punished for it, but Plasmid does lose their life. That is by the bedroom side of the map. 2v2 for the retake between Moth and Equal. D-Day and Buzz on the offensive side of things, and that's the angle you got to be careful of. Through the little statue, Buzz loses their head. That's up to D-Day. Play the time. One player hopping on towards the bomb. Also one player potentially could drop down, has to check the bomb. Got a challenge right in front of them, but Equal is just going to stick this sucker after Moth even found the kill as well. So FSU Garnet would have bounced back from their defensive fumble in the opening round, making this 2-1 in their favor.
Yeah, I love Equal. Just hopping on that, just going for the immediate fuse, trusting your teammate there to win out of that one-on-one. You're low on time, and that's basically what it comes down to. As you see, oh, yeah, nice little angle. That is a nice angle there. Just able to get that peak. You're usually never going to be pre-aiming that either when you're top pool house. So big kill coming through, enough to be able to play for the retake and go up by 1. So now we head over towards offense once again. SIUe Red, they grabbed that first round, but now have been in a little bit of a deficit in the last 2 rounds where they're going to go back to a default by A. And while we get that scope back out here, looking to see if he can pick off a player for first blood.
love the Georgia General Special. ICR back in the day, Black Ops 4 used to be a variable scope. Now we're just dealing with long-range sniper scopes. Mod down to 24 HP. Just going to go ahead and stick this anyway. Not too sure if there's a trophy system here to be able to keep them alive in case the Semtex came from afar, but regardless, the bomb will be planted. 38 seconds left, 3v4. SIUe have to go for a retake.
Kills are going to have to come through fairly quickly. They do take their time. And it's a full stack in Pool House with one player in Tiki. And I mean, you're already down to 25 seconds, and you haven't found one of them here. Almost a little bit too patient. Finally, the gunfights start to come through. Mythic just obliterates one. D-Day does answer back with one himself, but he's got two players to try and fight through, and he's got no time on the clock to find both and get that defuse off. So D-Day will simply just play his life. Will just back away. Bomb should blow up here, and that is going to be good for another round coming in. Just able to get this bomb down here once again, and he's just been working out beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, the quick plants on Raid, Search, and Destroy just really seems to be a given success, especially when you're playing on the pool side of the map. I mean, when you're able to get control from Bedroom and the center of Tiki, even though Mod lost their life from D-Day over here, just look how close the trade was almost there. It was going to be really tough. You really need your player inside the basketball court to be able to find value, if not inside of money, to be able to read that hit, if not finding an opening kill for the defensive team. Once you are committing over towards the A site for the offense, be able to shut that down. But 3 rounds now in a row for FSU Garnet, looking to get themselves on a little bit of a roll. Trophy system from D-Day over the top. Mythic for first blood on a roster.
Mythic will play his life. I like this play here. Just finds the first one, looks to back away for a quick moment. They slow things down and they work for a second and then a third. Everyone dropping on FSU Garnet. Last one left alive, Exile. And while he is just not in the position he would love to be in, there's a complete split across the map, and you can see it. He wants to get himself off the map here and just get into the next round.
Get me out of here. I want none of this. I mean, we've seen some instances where players are more than generous in offering isolated gunfights, but I think many of us would have just done the same thing. I mean, you've already taken the previous 3 rounds in your favor. Just go ahead and just chalk it up. Learn from what you could in that previous defensive side and just be able to adapt that in the next round. Mythic up at 6-3, 2-3 for the rest of the members for SIUe Red. Again, just fantastic bait and switches and being able to double challenge where it mean the most in that previous round. FSU Garnet, though. A's not the hit this time. It's going to be a quick B hit. Semtex is going to come through middle of the map, controlled for SIUe.
No one back launcher just yet, but off-screen D-Day. You can see him there through the X-ray. He will position himself back launcher, just trying to hold on towards that position. Grogmoth is likely the one that's going to try and open up with a play. See if he can find that kill. And no one dropping down, but looking from behind. This should be a kill for sure, and it is. Mythic brings home yet another one. Exile forced to really slow things down, put himself in a corner with this ACOG scope, and not really the situation you want to be using this site, but we will see a rotation come through on the other side of the map, where he might be looking to push all the way through. G-Day reads it, grabs one, as Grogmoth grabs the trade, but he's all alone now. It would have to be a full ace. Does actually grab the second and has about 30 seconds to work with, but doesn't expect the third in the back spawn.
Okay, so a 2-round bounce back coming here from SIUe Red. Again, just thinking the map terrain and just being able to control these very powerful areas where you ended up having 2 players, whether it's a submachine gun and XM4, which basically acts like a versatile submachine gun in a way, almost like a Maddox feel where it's currently standing at, but a little bit more range to boot where it was in Black Ops 4, but still able to control the map and dictate the pace, not letting FSU Garnet just getting comfortable. That quick plan over towards B kept them guessing. This is where FSU Garnet were able to get a lot of value in their offensive rounds, but here comes SIUe Red on another offensive round. Very aggressive hit for FSU to the center of the map. Mythic, isolated gunfight, is able to get the first blood.
2 kills. Buzz follows it up, and this is the advantage you'd want to have. Will make their way through, and that kill doesn't come through. They're on towards Mythic. Would have been a massive one. Chance to maybe grab that 2v3 and then work off of a post plant, but no kills come through for them. Still the 4v2. Bomb now will get planted here on B. Grogmoth known in his last position here, but will end up waiting a bit of time before looking to either hit dividers or come through Zig. His teammate's going to be also positioned now in towards the middle of the map. 30 seconds left. They're going to have to make a move.
Well, this is just going to be tough. You got player number 3 in Plasma watching the driveway. You also got a player over by Spiral. Moth is going to throw some shots after eating a few as well. They will lose their life. Now a Qual side of the gallery. We'll be able to take down D-Day on top of Spiral, but there's that player playing Koi over inside the driveway. Will now be 3 rounds in a row for Southern Illinois. Going to be able to put themselves in a firm control after a 250 to 216 hardpoint win on Raid. Potentially get themselves up 2-0. Still need 2 rounds before doing so, but Mythic on a 4 spree through multiple rounds, 8 and 3 for them. 4 kills. All even Stevens from between D-Day, Buzz, and Plasmid just playing wonderfully together. You can just tell throughout the X-ray and through the arrows in the minimap that they're just playing together. They're trying to play for trades. And they're able to take these positions away from FSU.
Looks to be a bait back to what's been working here for them on a lot of their offenses, which has been just try and get this bomb down by A. But this time around, the bomb's actually hovering towards the middle of the map for what could be just a quick rotation towards B. And no one's really given any peeks. You can just see how, or rather, I was going to say how reserved they were, but they are actually going to start to make that move. And there's info. So they know that there's still a couple players by the pool house, but are they going to full commit for a hit, or are they just going to completely back up? They don't have mid-map control. They don't know if there's players in ring. Exile is going to simply hold his position in A, potentially be a bit of a bait, and now Plasmid a chance to find a couple of kills. He gets the info and will just immediately back out and will be able to keep his life.
And that is just such a massive mood coming through from Plasmid to be able to keep their life and now put themselves in a proper position. But Mythic hits it from the pillar side, is able to find Moth. That's the bomb carrier down. You're down to just 18 seconds for FSU Garnet. So you got to make a play happen. You got to retrieve the bomb and try to plant it to extend the clock. But there's Plasmid inside of Laundry, is able to lock things down from range. And now it's just up to Exile. ACOG scope on the Krig 6 and all. 5 seconds remaining. Not enough time to be able to retrieve the bomb for the plant or to find these kills. SIUe Red came to play on Raid Search and Destroy. What a bounce back now. 4 rounds in a row, putting themselves on map point.
They're absolutely figuring things out. They're just really, I think, slowing down a lot of these rounds. They're not giving away a lot of these first bloods that were coming out in the very first 3 or 4. And they're starting just to realize where these hits are coming through. And this time around, they don't find control by A. They have to bounce back and see if they can make a rotation towards B. But just everyone playing their lives, not giving it over for free. That's enough to come ahead with another one, just like you framed up, Andy. Mythic now 10 and 4, finding himself as well as the objective man here with 3 plants and diffuses coming in as a total. So just work being done. But Uzen does find at least that very first blood on towards Mythic. That's a big player to shut down here for yourself, as things will be still unraveling by this B site.
Quite a curious location, and well, I was just going to be leaving poor D-Day in a 1v4 situation. Very tough spot to be in, so they're just going to go for a quick little workout, maybe get a new high score on one of those nice arcade machines. But we got all 4 players just from FSU Garnet. They know exactly what has to happen here for D-Day, and yeah, exactly. I would have done the same thing. It was just so aggressive with the window breaking, and just he saw the far road and just bustling down the rocks. But still a good round for FSU Garnet to stop the bleeding.
It's really funny that spot used to be something people would use in Raid Hardpoint, where they would immediately off the spawn just go and execute right behind the glass, and then they get the closer spawn on ramp towards the hill. I saw some players trying that out in towards this game, but it's a no bueno. It does not work out. But either way, ladies and gents, 5-4 FSU Garnet. Still showing us they got a little fight in them. And they're going to default back towards their A hit. But what will they change up? They want to go back to, it looks like, the faster attack here by A. A chance to drop the bomb immediately. Grogmoth is down, and he will be able to get it off. So they will get themselves in the prime strategy, but Mythic, he might have found the timing. He finds himself 1, moves in for 2, can't bring home the gunfight, and whoa! Massive double kill coming in behind. This is going to be good for now. What is a 2v2 for both squads?
Plasmid just trying to find the wall bang. The player of Exile, that is an ACOG Krig versus an ACOG Krig. Qual now playing through the middle of the map. Exile will lose their life. That's D-Day that hits it from the Tiki side. Or on the backside, rather, of basketball courts. And now it's just down to a Qual to play the time. One player looking to hop on stage for bomb halfway towards the defuse. Great challenge from a Qual. Is there going to be enough time for the defuse? There absolutely will be. And oh, man, that got really close there at the end, Austin. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that FSU Garnet were going to be able to close that one out and extend this towards another round. But SIUe Red, again, like you were talking about, they may have just figured things out there towards the middle of the search and destroy to put themselves up on map point for the map count, the series point.
Oh, Qual here, that double. I mean, like you said, like it looked like that was maybe enough to really kind of solidify things, hold on towards that setup. We saw them do it very early and towards the search and destroy. When they got themselves control of Pool House with the bomb down more often than not, they were closing up those rounds, but just slowly but surely taking away a lot of the mid-map control, it felt like, for the most part here for SIUe Red on offense and defense, just really limiting, I mean, what you're going to be able to attack, it feels like, and what rotations you're going to be able to make without being spotted and seen here. So really just making those adjustments coming through. And well, the first two raids have been good here so far for them. So we said the squad might just be liking raid, and well, they're probably loving raid right now, considering the 2 up in the series, and they're getting ready to go in towards what will be a raid control. One of the more unique maps, I think, for as far as this game mode for us, where it is very offensive favored here, and you're able to get yourself a lot of zones, at least usually one for the most part, based off how the spawn system kind of works. And really, I mean, for defense, it's really difficult, I feel like, for the most part, Andy, because you have to spread yourself pretty thin. It's like, are you dedicating, 2 players to each zone off the bat, right off the break, or are you putting some players in towards the middle of the map so you don't lose that early control? Yeah, I mean, the breakoffs, I think, for the most part, on defensively is what I've been looking at for as far as squads and how they've been making those adjustments we just saw in that search and destroy kind of unfold throughout the entire control map.
Yeah, I mean, from this map comparatively to, let's say, like Garrison Control or Checkmate Control, yes, it is very, very different. I mean, it's also a lot smaller from east to west as far as the map is concerned. But still, when you're thinking about it just offensively, or I'm sorry, defensively, you're absolutely right to spread your resources a little bit thin. This is where middle map control is absolutely going to be a virtue for you. So that way you can get control either through the pillars or either down through the water steps. You can even have a player, if you win that opening gunfight defensively, to hit Zig, so that way you can work your way towards the garage, get a couple cheeky spawn kills and really offset the offense. But you're absolutely right again, Austin. You can tell this nice Canadian individual played a lot of Black Ops 2, knows control as well, that when it comes down just to raid in general, when the way that the spawns play offensively, you full commit over towards a single site, 3 players, you win that convincingly, you have your other player lurking towards mid, sees the opportunity to go towards the opposing site, really splits up that defense that much more. You lose a gunfight on one side of the map, you spawn adjacent towards the next one. You can just always reinforce it, and that's where those setups have to absolutely come through, but the defense have to be very proactive to be able to read these situations and just to play from power positions, whether that's inside a tiki, back basketball court, or even inside a laundry off the rip to be able to read where these hits are coming from.
Very, very important indeed. So as we're getting ready to jump in towards our map number 3, ladies and gentlemen, 2-0 down, FSU Garnet. They've been able to climb through this bracket up towards this point, but this is where they might end up dropping out because SIUe Red has just been phenomenal this entire time around, the very first 2 maps. So ladies and gents, we'll throw things to a quick little break. Get ready for this map number 3. Don't go too far. We'll be right back with more Raid. Just a quick little break there, ladies and gentlemen. Right back in towards the action. Players have started it up. As I just said, do or die right now. FSU Garnet have really kept things close the first 2 maps. They just have not been able to get away with the win. This is their chance to do exactly that, as it will be in a push right in towards A. That's going to be Grogmoth, who's started off a lot of these maps very hot. He opens up with 2 kills. Mythic in from behind, trying to be their thorn in the side, as he has a chance to maybe disrupt this push. But meanwhile, time is still coming through, and that second tick will be secured.
Moth's about the 4 kills only for FSU so far to break inside this A zone, and it will be given on over. Well, now you're going to be able to put yourself in a position, if you are FSU Garnet, to be able to fly through the center of the map. But 2 kills do come through in a trade. Mach is trying to keep their life over towards Zig. Mythic will go down. 2 minutes on the board. I mean, you can play for respawns here. You can play for time. You're just going to have to try to play slow here. Just try to find the best committal gunfight in your favor for FSU Garnet, just to work your way over towards the B zone, and it might just start here.
Towards the back.
Ooh.
Be the first one down. Grogmoth, though, he's still putting himself in these tough situations and coming out on top. That's going to be a real tough one, though. Both players holding ARs will be able to beam him down. So with about 1:34 to play, they are going to maybe take a bit of time to come in from behind. I like this play from Rods, and a chance to create a bit of a pinch here. Finds himself some shots, trying to bring it home, but will not be able to find Mythic. Nice little 90-degree turn. Grogmoth is still alive inside of money, but everyone just swarming in and around. Has one of his teammates inside kitchen. Will be good for the help. So this will at least be a decent position to maybe hop on the point. I was going to say that, Andy, but Mythic finds himself a double he shouldn't have, and he's going to continue to make things very difficult.
Oh, Qual's got to keep your life here before reinforcements works their way through the center of the map. Just don't peek, just don't get too antsy. You need your teammates here. And here comes Mythic inside a kitchen, is able to find one quick trade coming on through. Not a real big opening, keep in mind you, for FSU to be able to work their way towards this B zone. Not quite yet, but those kills are going to be good. No player in the backside of the basketball court to be able to shut this down, but they're playing for money control. Exile will lose their life from the little cutout wall here. Plasmin has a power position, and Mythic also has one as well. We'll just hit it from the underneath the bedroom, looking for a spawn kill, but Exile will find the quick kill and trade in succession. Remember, it was 2 minutes on the board after FSU Garnet did capture that A zone, but now we're looking at 6 to 5 with the respawns, 20 seconds remaining.
The lives are low if you can stop this clock, but that has been a problem just getting to the zone. However, now there's a chance to do so. Mythic has a chance to maybe line up a couple of multi-kills, but Grogmoth just absolutely snips them out. Will have none of it, finds himself 2 kills to open up the point. First tick looks to be good, and now no respawns remaining for SIUe Red. Buzz trying to play his life as he finds one, and Mythic will also respond with a second. A chance now to open up the zone. They take 3 out of 4 down. 10 seconds are left. Exile can certainly get here for a touch, but Mythic will also cut him down as he makes his way towards the zone, and now there is no one in position to get here. This was a great hold. SIUe Red, every time they're backed up into a corner, somehow they bite back here for us, Andy. They hold on and they clutch up.
Yeah, and that was just a big veteran and patient move there for Southern Illinois there at the end, Austin. I mean, like you called out, no respawns remaining. The winning condition there was to be able to win one convincing gunfight, just given off where the time was located at. Southern Illinois are able to do just that. They work their way towards the zone. FSU Garnet, they spawn all the way over by P3 in the garage. Not able to make it back to contest the time. That's just a fantastic play coming on through. I mean, Mythic also hitting through the center of the map continuously. It's at 12-5 after the first round. Keep in mind you, so be on the weary here if you are FSU Garnet. Watch your backline, watch your flanks, because Mythic might just hit it.
Mean for that to rhyme? I like that, Andy.
I didn't, but now we're here.
Now we're here. Let's
Someone
roll
clip it. I need
it. Rosin now. He's going to be able to find himself. Beautiful timing. Grabs himself Buzz. Now we'll be able to maybe even play for some of those spawn kills. Gets in behind D-Day, and this is what we talked about. That roaming SMG role so important because you cut off a lot of these resources here for as far as players making their way towards B. And Equal has a chance to be able to maybe even cut them down on top of the point. Will light up Plasmin with a nade, but won't bring home the kill. Waiting for maybe support from Basketball, and that's what Grogmoth will be able to bring. Finds himself a kill. Exile cleaning things up over by the other zone. Everything seems to be holding right now defensively. Just about 45 seconds left here to be able to make an offensive play, and they need to start stopping this clock.
And say what you will about Equal's very unfortunate raid hardpoint. They have been playing this control pretty darn well, especially on this defense. Just keeping their life inside a kitchen, always poking back out inside of money, just checking things down low. Plasmin's not going to touch the zone to stop the clock at 31 seconds. This is going to have to be the do-or-die situation for Southern Illinois. Got players committing over here, but also got Rosin and Exile flying in towards the spawn over inside of Red. They might just give up this B zone here, Austin. As soon as I say that, 2 kills do come through. Mythic looking to fly inside the basketball court. Is able to find one. 29 seconds is where the clock will be stalled out. You got to give this up if you're FSU at this point. Try to play for exit kills coming off of that B zone. 1 minute 25 on the board.
Minute 25, and Buzz is already on the zone. Has a chance to be able to get that first tick, but there will be a contest that comes through. Again, no real support, no one watching over. And this is going to mean that they're going to be able to clean that kill up without a problem. Second tick on the way. Equal up top, trying to battle against the AR. Nade will come through. The double nade actually is good enough for control. But D-Day, he's holding the cross. He's making sure no one is able to push through laundries. He finds that first one. His teammates still winning out battles in towards the middle of the map. And that third tick is on the way. Equal has to make a move, and he will go down as soon as he jumps out of laundry. One player close on D-Day will not be spotted. It's going to be, of course, Grogmoth. Who else? The submachine gun player that has been stepping up and trying to clutch up in these moments, and he will make sure that the zone is not over yet.
I only got 1 tick left to play. I mean, there's still a minute left on the board. What Southern Illinois have to play with? I mean, respawns, you're only 2 down. Time of the essence. to be able to find one good kill feed and work your way in here. But the spread for FSU Garnet is good. You got one player watching from the backside of kitchen, one inside laundry, two over towards the zone. Grogmoth looking towards the driveway. Plasma we see because the X-Ray has the heady. Will be able to take down Moth. That could be the opportunity to be able to work through the middle of the map, but D-Day loses their life.
Slowing things down for a moment. Everyone coming off of their respawns, and they try to actually attack in from the back. But this defensive setup right now for the side of FSU Garnet might just be good to hold for the last 30 seconds, but it just takes one wipe to stack the zone. D-Day finds himself exile. Plasmid finds the second. Now on towards the point. It will be Rosin trying to play defense, but he only finds one. Grogmoth, the last one left. Can he make a massive play happen? He has to get a touch here, and he won't be able to do so. SIUe Red once again, Andy. It's the final moments. Every single map, every single round, they go big, and they will be able to bring this one home.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, towards the end there, looking towards the A zone, it had to have just been, a perfectly executed defense for FSU Garnet. They have really been struggling at just winning these gunfights convincingly. All raid controlled long, Austin. And when you can't do that in the final moments, when you can't ice up as a team, that's when you're absolutely going to crumble when there's only one tick that's needed. You stack a zone, you capture that bad boy pretty darn quickly. So on the offense, we go for FSU Garnet. Looking towards the A zone, and they find 3 kills in succession, baby. That's going to be the first tick, if not the second, just given over towards FSU very quickly.
And they will stack it with 3 members, so that second tick's going to follow through very, very quickly, like you just mentioned. Third tick might even come through. I mean, no one's really looking to try and contest this. Mythic makes that move, but that move's too late. Grogmoth lines up 2 for himself, challenges the third. Absolutely beaming here as he just leaves the last player, not even interested anymore. They're already on towards the next zone.
Yeah, and that just might have been a little bit of an overinvestment as far as positional is concerned. Moth, 7 in a row. Can we find an 8th? Playing in and out from the cutout wall. Has players in front of them, knows that they can't challenge this. Goes for a little bit of a jump challenge. Has 11 bullets inside the mag. Sees one player is going to be Plasmid. Gets some shots in them. Challenges D-Day. D-Day will win out that gunfight, but still, over towards the B zone. 1 tick of progress already gained. Clock stopped at 1:59. Now you have FSU Garnet just trying to play for position, just trying to get the kills. They have so many win conditions ahead of them. They are 6 respawns ahead of SIUe Red.
Ball on the point right now. Does tuck himself away in the corner and has his teammates watching the cross. Last tick might come through. Finally, a point that will be secured. No contest. They want to give it up. FSU Garnet finally get themselves around. I mean, we've seen so many times where they've had these great starts, and this is another moment where Grogmoth's been able to open up with 3-4 kills for himself, gives them that first zone, and just gives them so much extra time to work with.
I mean, look, right there for Southern Illinois, I hate to be super nitpicky, but you gotta just give it up at that point. Just back up. There's no reason to even try to look at the zone at that point. It was about to be fully captured. You almost got to just play for the exits at that point and put yourself over towards the B zone so that way you can just know that that was about to be the condition. You lost 3 kills in succession. The 4th soon to follow. That's just a round that SIUe Red just let sift right through their fingertips. And now they're looking to close down on offense. The A zone looks like to be the hit, but you also have player number 6 on board here with Mythic, working the way on the B zone as well.
Mythic might not stay for the full tick. Instead wants to maybe create a bit of a pinch. Plasmid off screen finds a couple of kills before finally falling, and now Mythic realizes maybe he should have stayed on the zone, but it's fine because his teammates are here to stack it. And well, we know when the stack comes through, that progress bar absolutely flies. And they might even have one attempt if they wanted to, but they might just chalk this B zone up, and it looks to be the play. Unless Grogmoth can do something. He does challenge, but it was too late regardless. So they do grab themselves the full extra minute. First tick also going to be secured on A, and Exile will be in the back of the spawn as every single player is actually going to rotate through, see if they can start to coordinate a hit, and Exile's a chance to line up a couple, only able to find one before being traded.
Yeah, try to play for the cover instead of just trying to play for the multi-kill. Last ditch little cover won't be able to be there, but there's Rosin over by the Zig. It's going to be able to find 2 big kills coming on through for FSU Garnet. 2 respawn advantage for the defensive team. Stacking in around the A zone. Rosin wants to hit this from the bottom of Art. Gonna be able to find one before they're traded out, but that's information that FSU need to be able to look towards this position. Now SIUe Red off the respawn. Gonna be playing this slow, trying to play for the middle of the map. Mythic off screen is able to find a wall. It could open up through the middle of the map, but Rosin's also hitting it from the pool side.
D-Day finds that first one. Plasmin opens up with a second. Looking good here. SIUe Red, a chance to maybe even close out the series right now on this point. The contest was there for a second, but now a pinch will come through the middle of the map. They will clean up 3 out of 4. That will be good for the hold. That second tick also will be denied. So they will have to basically start all over again here, working from the second one and up. Plasmid is also holding on towards a bit of this map control as they look to set up what could be a long rotation in from behind. But everyone is basically set up here across the map defensively, as this will be a 3-man hit from the back. Exile has a very important role. He'll be tagged up very heavily and will be pushed out. He will go down as they look to grab the second, but Rosin also finds himself a couple of kills. He cleans things up, and now it's a fight for the hill.
And then you also had D-Day that found a kill over towards the white van right outside of the art gallery. And now the respawns for FSU Garnet are close. 2 kills do come through. Moth with the Semtex is able to take down D-Day, but the reinforcements are about to be here for Southern Illinois. But watch out for player number 4 of Exile. This is where Southern Illinois have fumbled throughout the entirety of this offensive hit so far. They are never really aware through the middle of the map, and FSU Garnet are able to find kills continuously. Big moment for Mythic, is able to find 1 kill up through the driveway, and that means that they're going to be able to keep their life as well. This is about to be the last attempt that they have. First tick of progress is here. You're down at 3 respawns. You got to make this hit count.
Mythic, he finds that first big kill. He's now at least in the zone, but it's only for a quick moment. Buzz would also have to try and run right to it if they're looking to try and still hold on to the round, but more or less they might just wait. The touch might come through, but it is too late. FSU Garnet starting to bounce back, starting to figure out control. They're starting to ice up as well in these final moments, which has been the biggest criticism across all of these maps. And I mean, we're starting to see Rosin also find a lot of these pinch plays, playing this roaming role very well, as they're going to send things to round 5 here for us, Andy. A chance to be able to start to create this reverse sweep.
Yeah, they would have to do a reverse sweep in this raid control to start the reverse sweep in this semifinals best of 5 series. I mean, say, say someone call a newspaper or something, because this could be the narrative of the entire day so far. But still, you're going to have to do it here. And where the kills are standing at, FSU Garnet going to put themselves on defense. SIUe Red fumbling on their previous offense. They're going to look towards the A hit, but again, Moth is hitting this from the center of the map. Is anybody going to be able to read this? Is able to keep their life after throwing a couple of shots. And for SIUe Red, they will try to stack this over towards this spiral. And luckily, they're able to deal with the flank as well. So this might just be the A zone, Austin.
Yeah, they might just give this one over, and it could very well be the right call, not trying to throw lives away. Actually decided to make a last attempt push, and well, 3 out of 4 go down here. I agree with you, Andy. That was a massive misplay here, where they now have to fight for control by this zone by B, and Buzz will be spotted out. Nade might just finish him off. They are trying to bounce back. Rosin finds that very first initial kill. XL finds the second, but Plasmin a chance to line up 2, and he does, and that will also be good for the first tick.
Yeah, and the reinforcements are coming right out from the bedroom as well. You got player number 1, that's going to be Moth, hitting it from the money window. Is able to take down D-Day. That's after another player from FSU Garnet found another kill on towards Southern Illinois. Plasmin is just playing this angle. 37 HP. Is trying to keep their life equal. Just a nice little shoulder shrug. Is going to be able to get that kill, but second tick of progress is already gained over towards the B zone. You got 2 minutes left to play. A forward respawn advantage there for Southern Illinois. And now you got to play this perfect defense coming on through. Moth hitting it from the pool stairs. Just trying to finesse this kill, but Buzz with the DMI is going to get them, take them down.
You got to play perfect defense. You got to play perfect defense. 1 full wipe is good enough for the game right here in the series. But look at that. There is the pinch. That is a beautiful play here for Rosin. How many times he's been in behind enemy lines? And well, even before he drops, the nade will take out D-Day. So things now will stall out for a quick moment with 1:40 on the clock. They have to make this offensive attack happen. And we're starting to get pretty low on lives for FSU Garnet. Only down to 5 after D-Day finds that kill. Plasmid trying to work with his submachine gun player, Mythic, but it's not going to be there, as they're going to now try and attack from cutout. Buzz does find himself a kill, but 1 player inside of Tiki. It's not the player you would want inside of Tiki either, as Grogmoth does get dealt with. Plasmid looks to finish it up and will try and take control of the power position, fighting for what will be basketball control, takes down the trophy system, trying to work towards this last tick, playing his life, waiting for the reinforcements to come through, and they will respond back with 2 kills. Rosin now forced to go big with Exile. Both of them will respond, and they won't be able to do it. A 2v4, holding on, not allowing that final tick to come through just yet.
Big 2v4, trying to deplete the progress of the third tick, and it will come through. 58 seconds remaining, a 3 respawn advantage. 4 respawns for Southern Illinois. One respawn for Florida State. Put themselves in a position potentially to them one last big push to come on through. Of course, giving off the respawns, even if you find a handful of kills, you might just play for the win condition of the respawns. 24 HP is where Buzz will lay at. Exile will get taken down. 35 seconds now remaining. No respawns for FSU Garnet. They're going to have to play this defense all the more better, but Mythic is going big. Mott does find the trade.
Buzz inside. He can't find the kill. D-Day has his teammates coming off spawn, but it is now going to be a 3v4. No respawns remaining for FSU Garnet, but they can still win this out if they can win these gunfights. Rosin goes for that shoulder peek, but it's going to be Grogmoth on top of the point, being able to contest things out. Mythic now attacking from the side. Grogmoth wins the one-on-one. Now just 2 members remaining here. Can they 2v4 here again? Last time it was Rosin and it was Exile, but they try to make their move and they will be punished. They will be shut down once again, just falling short. 3-2 in map number 3.
And look, it's this spot right here for Florida State Garnet. Why did you have to hit old? Why'd you have to do that? I'm getting some vibes of like Doctor Strange, like giving the time stone to Thanos at that point. Like, why'd you do that, man? Like, there's just literally no reason to hit that exact moment, because then you put yourself in respawn, and that gave the opportunity for the 2 players from Southern Illinois to then hit through the center of the map, through the pool stairs, out through money as well, just to already put themselves on B. Yes, you found the kill from basketball courts onward, but you got overwhelmed so quickly. I mean, Mythic through the cutout wall, all inside the kitchen, and then through the basketball court, over by the bedroom. You just lost so many power positions. Those 2 ticks of progress with 2 minutes remaining. Respawns were so far gone that's where, again, the term win condition is going to get thrown around continuously when we're talking about control. You have the time, you have the respawns, the tick progress as well. All 3 of those were in the favor for Southern Illinois University until the time got taken away there at the end. I mean, I was almost really hoping that Florida State were almost able to get that reverse sweep in control, and maybe we'd be looking at a Moscow hardpoint, but it's not going to be the case just from that one little slip up of trying to hit the old zone.
Yeah, there's just honestly, that I felt like it was just a lot of those mistakes happening throughout a lot of those maps, right? Where we played raid 3 times. There was a chance, I think, to win every single one of those maps here for the squad. It's just coming down to those final moments. SIUe Red, they just always went big. They always clutched up. And when it came down to all that pressure weighing down on their shoulders, they were able to deliver just time and time again. And that is just such a massive factor in being able to win out on a tournament like this, where you can deal with that pressure, where it doesn't matter the circumstance. You're still able to bounce back here. But I think definitely you're right. A lot of throwaways coming through for SFU. Or FSU, excuse me, Garnet, and they can look over this one, I think, for the most part, and say, listen, this is where things went wrong, because they're breaks, man. They're breaks on multiple rounds, not only in the control, but even coming in towards some of those search and destroys and some of those initial hard points where they're finding those, big breaks that need to come through. They're able to deliver. It's always those final moments, that last minute. That's where they really have to kind of maybe look down, start to figure some things out, go over the VOD, and see if they can clean things up before going in towards the regular season. But still, finishing top 4 coming in towards the CCL Kickoff Classic. It's definitely not too bad of a run whatsoever, not too shabby. But on the other hand, our squad here, SIUe Red, Andy, they're going in towards that grand final, and we're going to wait to see the outcome, at least of the other series, for as far as Line 9 up against Concord, to see who's going to be facing off against them. But so far, this squad definitely looking good and might be able to take it all, pending they can keep this up and can keep clutching up as well. That will be the big factor, but we'll find out more as we get ready to line that one up here for you guys. And well, if you're also looking to find some Call of Duty content, make sure you guys jump over towards the Bravo stream. In the meantime, you should have both streams up anyway. We got 4v4 COD, College COD, everything's just here for us, Andy. It's just so much Call of Duty to be watched, and it is a great time all around. So hop over towards that Bravo stream, and we'll be right back on the Alpha when we get that grand final matchup.